Hi friends, here we have to find which of the following functions is periodic. X minus greatest integer function of x. That is floor of x. Right. For example, what is this function? If x is 2.5, then this will give greatest integer which is less than x, that is 2. If x is 2.9, then also it will give 2. If x is 3, it will give 3, less than or equal to 3. Right. If x is 3.5, less than or equal to x, that is again 3. Integer less than or equal to x. If x is minus 2.5, integer less than or equal to x is minus 3. Like that. Okay. So obviously x minus this greatest integer less than or equal to x. Right. So this function, the graph will look something like this. When x is, let's say, 0.5, then what will it will be 0.5 x minus greatest integer less than or equal to zero point 0.5. That is 0.5 minus 0, which is equal to zero point 0.5. Basically, up to 1, even if it is zero point 0.9, x minus greatest integer of x is zero point 0.9. When it becomes 1, then it becomes 1 minus greatest integer of 1, which is 0. Again, it will start from here. Okay, 1 minus 1 will become 0. Again, from 1 to 2. 1, 1.1, 1.2, whatever. It will keep subtracting 1. Then it will become 0, 0.1, 0.2, up to 0.99. Likewise, again, 0 to 1 it will go. And again at 2, it will become 0. 2 minus greatest integer of 2, which is 0. Again, it will go till 1. Similarly, similarly here also, left side also, right side also. So this is a periodic function, right? What is a periodic function? And the graph should repeat itself. For example, sin x. Sin x, the graph repeats itself after every 2 pi. Similarly, cos x. Tan x also repeats itself, right? So whenever a graph repeats itself, that means that function is periodic. What is the period? Period is after what time the graph repeats itself. So the period is 1 here. After every 1 unit, it is repeating itself. So the first one is definitely periodic. Then sine 1 by x. See, when x increases, 1 by x decreases. Right? When x is becoming very large, 1 by x will become close to 0. Okay, so the graph, it will become close to 0 as x increases. As x increases, this graph actually will become close to 0. And it will oscillate a lot when x is very small. When x is small, x is very close to 0. What does that mean? 1 by x varies very fast. 1 by x, whatever small change in x, 1 by x fluctuates a lot. That means the graph will take a lot of flips when it is close to 0. Right. So, but definitely sine 1 by x is not periodic, because periodic means after every constant period, the graph should repeat itself. There is no way this graph will repeat itself. Right, because it is 1 by x. Sin x repeats itself, but 1 by x, because 1 by x fluctuates a lot. When x becomes large, it doesn't fluctuate, it will remain close to 0. But when x becomes smaller and smaller, this graph fluctuates a lot. Because 1 by x uh, becomes larger and larger, it will fluctuate a lot. So this function is definitely not periodic. Sin 1 by x is not periodic. X cos x. Cos x always lies between 1 and minus 1. And we are multiplying this 1 and minus 1 with x. Let's say x is 40. Then x cos x will be like will run between 40 and minus 40. When x is 100, x cos x will run between 100 and minus 100. Right. So this graph actually, as x increases, cos x doesn't increase, but as x is increasing, it will be magnified like this. Like this. When x is 20, then it will fluctuate between plus 20 and minus 20. When x is 30, it will fluctuate between plus 30 and minus 30. Likewise. So it fluctuates a lot. The fluctuation increases a lot. So, but what is the periodic function? Same graph should repeat itself. But here, say it is not the same graph. The size of the graph, the value of y is increasing a lot. See, in this case, it is exactly the same graph, but here it is not the same graph. It is increasing. The y is increasing, right? Plus y even on both sides. it is increasing a lot. So that's why x, cos x, or in fact x, sin x, whatever, these are not, this is not periodic. Only periodic graph is a, x minus greatest integer function of x. Right, guys? Thank you.